All right, so as the participants trickle in, welcome everybody to the St. Ignatius College Prep College Fair. We are so excited to have you participating in this event, and we have some fantastic schools here with us today. Each of the schools will have about 6 minutes to share more about their institution, but they'll be around for the entire session to answer questions. My name is Monica, and I will be your facilitator. But before we get started, just a couple of quick housekeeping items. First, your camera and your microphone are off, so the panelists can't see or hear you. But I encourage you to use that Q&A button on your screen to type any questions you have, and our presenters can respond that way. Please be sure to check out the recorded sessions on our website if there were any that you weren't able to attend tonight. The website for that is going to be strivescan.com/Ignatius. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to our first presenter, which is Xavier University.
Well, thank you so much, and good evening, everybody. I'm excited to be here to share a little bit of the Xavier story with you. So let's get started. So Xavier is one of the 27 Jesuit schools in the country, as you probably know, coming from a Jesuit school yourself. We are in Cincinnati, Ohio, so just about 5 hours from the Chicago area. And we are located in the city of Cincinnati, although not downtown. Downtown Cincinnati sits right on the Ohio River, and we are about 10 minutes from the heart of downtown. If you know anything about Xavier, you know we are the Musketeers. And if you know anything about Musketeers, you know their battle cry was all for one and one for all. And certainly that's how we live our lives on the Xavier campus, you know, with a nod to the Jesuit philosophy of being men and women for and with others. We want to make sure that everyone's individual gifts and talents and great qualities are enhanced, but we also want to give our students a safe space to learn and to grow and to become the people that God intended them to be. One of the first very visible ways that we show you this all for one spirit is on move-in day. And so this group of students in their lovely highlighter yellow shirts, we call them our move crew. And the move crew is there to make sure that your first steps on the Xavier campus are easy ones. So when you pull up in front of the residence hall on that first day of classes or on that first day of move-in, this move crew is there cheering and sweating and dancing to music and unloading your car. That's one of the things that we have as a tradition at Xavier, that freshmen don't need to unpack their car. They don't need to schlep anything up to their room. It's the move crew that does that for them. Just a little bit about our students, and I think this is important to know as well. As a medium-sized institution of about 5,200 students, we really embody kind of everything that's out there. We currently have students from 49 different states, so darn you, North Dakota will get you yet. But we do have students from all over, and I think it's really important if you look at the facts on the slide, that 40% of our students are the only ones from their high school. That's not usually the case at Ignatius. We usually get a handful of students, but I think it speaks volumes to the kind of community that we're trying to build at Xavier. That students come in, you know, because they've chosen Xavier for themselves. They want to make sure that they're surrounded by other people who have similar qualities, and they do. And so they really get to build that community. From an academic standpoint, we do have 90 majors across 4 colleges. So lots of things for students to choose. You do choose a major when you come in at Xavier, but if you notice, number 2 and number 4 would both be our, you know, some schools might call it, well, we call it business undecided. So you can go into the business school as an undecided major, but you can enter Xavier as an exploratory major, which means that you really have all kinds of options and all kinds of ways to figure out what that next step is going to be. Our nursing program is direct entry. It's a 4-year BSN. All of our majors, like I said, you would apply to as a freshman and start in those classes right away, because we really expect that your time at Xavier will just be 4 years. We don't have programs that would keep you there much longer than that. The other piece of this puzzle is we know that, again, all for one, you can't do it alone. And so all of our students at Xavier do get what we call a success team. So as a freshman, students will have an academic advisor. Again, If they've chosen a major, it would be a professor from that area. If they haven't chosen a major, it would be someone from our advising center who works specifically with those exploratory students to find a path. There's a financial aid counselor. I hope I'm not surprising anybody tonight by saying college costs money. So you want to have somebody to answer those questions about the money piece. The career coach certainly is there to start students thinking about, what am I going to do once I graduate? And the success coach, as a Xavier admission professional, but also as a Xavier mom, I think might be the most important person as a freshman for those students to have, because they really do kind of ease the bumps in the road that naturally happen freshman year, because we don't want those bumps to become roadblocks. We want them just to say, hey, here's something I didn't anticipate. Who can I go to for help? And that's your success coach. We also have some amazing mentoring programs, whether those are peer-to-peer or with the professionals in Cincinnati. Something to remember that Cincinnati is home to 7 Fortune 500 companies. And then we have about 360 of the Fortune 500 companies who have a presence in Cincinnati. So lots of ways to reach out. I would be absolutely remiss, and I actually might get fired if I don't talk about Xavier basketball. It's just one of our 19 Division I sports. And here is couple of my favorite facts. So this is our Snhs Center. This is where we play basketball. It's right on campus. There's about, we'll call it 11,000 seats in the Snhs Center. Tickets for students are free. And we are super excited that our men's basketball team did just make the Final Four of the NIT, and they will play on March 29th on ESPN. So set your DVRs and get ready for some great basketball. But it's not just on the court where we have success. 98% of our students have a job within 6 months of graduation. Also really important to know that 85% of our students who apply to med school get in. The national average is just about 40%. And then just one last thing I want to remind you, we are open for visitors. We would love to see you in Cincinnati. So just head to www.xavier.edu/visit and pick a day to come and see us. So thanks so much. And I'm going to hand it back so that we can get on with the rest of the presenters.
Thank you. And next up, I think we have the University of Dayton.
Sorry about that. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to continue the tour of Ohio. My name is Erin Sarush, and I am from the University of Dayton in beautiful Dayton, Ohio, but the 6th largest city in the state of Ohio. As we all know, Chicago is a beautiful, wonderful city of neighborhoods. And at the University of Dayton, we're also very proud of our student neighborhoods, which I'll get into more soon. So we look forward to someday soon welcoming you to that neighborhood. The University of Dayton has roughly 8,300 full-time undergraduate students with a total enrollment around 11,000. So we are a mid-sized university. This size we love because it allows us to give those big school resources while still providing a supportive environment with a personalized education of smaller institutions. We have D1 sports, we have a faculty to student ratio of about 15:1, an average class size of 26. So really, I like to think of it as we have the best of both worlds. Right spot. At the University of Dayton, we are a top-tier Catholic Marianist research university committed to educating each student as a whole person. This means we empower students to learn, lead, and serve so our graduates can lead fulfilling lives and make a difference in the world. We strive to be a welcoming, friendly campus where students of all faiths and backgrounds, are treated with respect because we know diversity and inclusion are essential for everyone's success. As a top-tier university, our programs and facilities are recognized among the best in the nation. So no matter what major you choose, the educational philosophy will be the same. We provide a challenging curriculum in the classroom paired with hands-on, real-world applied learning opportunities in a supportive environment. Your professors and advisors will be there with you every step of the way. We do offer more than 80 academic programs across 4 schools, all direct admit programs. You can indicate on your admission application what program you want to be reviewed for, and we'll go ahead and do that. We're probably most well known for engineering, business, and the health sciences, We did add a nursing program roughly 4 years ago. By far our most competitive program. You must apply by November 1st to have any chance of review. If you're undecided or multiple interests and just not ready to commit yet, that's totally fine. Our Discover program is our undecided program. Discover Arts being our most general, undecided liberal arts program, but also offering Discover Business and Discover Science and so on. So there is a Discover program in each college and school, which allows you time to find your way. About a third of our students enter through the Discover program, so it's very common, and students are still completing 4 years with no problem. So giving back and learning how to build community are essential parts of the UD experience, and our students take the concept of community extremely seriously, because UD isn't just a school, it's going to be your home. You'll feel that sense of comfort from the first time you step on campus for your campus visit and beyond. One way we show our commitment to community is through our campus housing. Over 80% of our student body lives on campus all 4 years, whether in one of our residence halls or in our unique student neighborhood experience. And because our students live side by side in community, our campus transforms into more than just a place to live. Our housing is an intentional effort to build a living and learning community, which prepares students for a lifetime of leadership and service in their own communities. And let's be honest, it's also a whole lot of fun. No matter what you're interested in, we are also ready to help you craft your own extracurricular experience. We have more than 270 clubs and organizations. Over half the student bodies involved in intramurals, hugely popular at Dayton. As I mentioned, D1 sports, over 30 competitive club sports as well. So all in all, our students love to get engaged, and with so much happening on and off campus, it's hard for anyone to be bored during their 4 years at Dayton. Our students also love being here and feel supported during their time with us. With a retention rate of 91%, UD students clearly have the kind of experience that makes them want to keep coming back. And they're making an impact in terms of success as well. We're really proud of our resilient class of 2021, who has had a success rate of 97%. So employed, doing a year of service, or in graduate school within 6 months of graduation. And our knowledge rate for that number is over 80% as well. And I also like to mention our class of 2020, which had a success rate of 93%, which I think in the year that 2020 was is a really important thing to mention and recognize that group as well. All our graduates receive lifelong support through our career services office. And I would encourage wherever you go to school that you connect with your career service office, really, as they can be just a really strong resource for you. Our commitment to common good starts with our commitment to financial transparency. Our financial aid packages offer complete transparency about the cost of a UD education, and not just for 1 year, but for all 4 years. You can plan ahead and have peace of mind. There are no miscellaneous fees that suddenly pop up on your bill, and there's no raise in tuition. So we're going to freeze that net tuition for you all 4 years. When you apply, you're automatically considered for merit scholarships as well. So there's no additional application fee. And if you engage with us via a campus visit and complete the FAFSA in your senior year, you're going to qualify for the textbook scholarship worth up to $4,000. Quickly, we're on the Common App. We have an early action deadline of November 1st, and we are test optional moving forward. So you will not be required to send test scores with your application at any point in the near future. If you have questions, I'll put my information in the chat, and we hope you'll come visit us, as we are also open for visitors. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And next up, we have Miami University.
Good evening, everyone. Hi, my name is Heather Chase, and I am coming to you from Miami University in Oxford, Ohio. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen so that you can see a little bit of what Miami looks like and get all my little gadgets ready to go here. I hope you're all having a good night, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. So Miami University, we always have a great time visiting St. Ignatius, and just want to say hello to. We certainly have many great relationships with your counselors and also with your students. So many Ignatius students have joined us in Oxford, Ohio, and continue to do so every year. So as juniors and sophomores on this Zoom tonight. You'll have many that have gone before you, and of course, many friends to pick their brain a little bit about what they think about Miami. So Miami, for those of you who aren't familiar, is a mid-sized college campus down in Southwest Ohio. Ironically, we're here with Dayton and Xavier. We're all in the same little neck of the woods down there in Southwest Ohio. We are in a little town called Oxford, Ohio, which I bring this screen up to show you a picture, an aerial image of our campus, which is very much a college town. Oxford, Ohio revolves around Miami University. The campus is right in the center of town. All of our students can walk around the campus, walk uptown, walk back to campus. It's just a very student-centered area and a student-friendly community. We are home to 16,500 undergrad students and only about 2,000 graduate students. So we are predominantly an undergraduate institution. And like I said, we are home to quite a few. So while our campus is in a smaller town, our student body is a pretty large, a pretty good size. In terms of in-state versus out-of-state students, we do welcome about half of our class from out of state every year. So while we are a public institution, we do only about half of our students are from Ohio and the other half are from all the 50 states all over the place. So it's always really fun to come to Miami because you meet people from all over the place, not just students from Ohio. Miami is recognized for our liberal arts education, as well as certain colleges and strong majors in business, in pre-med, in engineering, etc. And we'll see that in just a second. Our study abroad program is phenomenal. More than or nearly 50% of our students will study abroad by the time they graduate. So if you've always dreamed of studying abroad, Miami is an amazing place to do it. We have our campus in Luxembourg, which is home to Miami professors, a community of Miami students every semester. But then additionally, there are Miami students in 90 additional countries at any moment. So lots of study abroad options. And then another thing we're kind of well recognized for is undergraduate research. So many of our science students, engineering students, and even, business education, areas that you wouldn't always think of as being prominent with research, they do amazing studies and research at Miami. So every year there's about 2,600 students doing research and doing some really cool and inventive projects. Another thing that I think our students really appreciate is many of our classes and many of your experiences at Miami will involve client work or work with people in the field. So for example, in our business school, during your first year, you're taking a core of classes where a company will come in and present a problem in your first year freshman classes that you have to then spend the semester, developing a strategy for the company, presenting back to the company what your ideas are in teams, and just a really engaging experience. We kind of blend that into your education all 4 years so that we make sure you're having, real world experiences in your classroom. Moving forward here, and I'm sorry, I'm going to skip through some pages because there's a lot to see here, but these are our 5 colleges and then our School of Nursing, which is our most selective major, the nursing program. But outside of nursing, business is slightly more selective. And then our other majors outside of business are open to any student who is admitted to Miami overall. As you see, over 120 majors. So lots of options as far as majors are concerned. And of course, tons of information about that online. A wonderful honors college as well that is very well recognized. It's a community approach where you live with your honors students and live alongside honors faculty and honors advisors as well. So keep that in mind as you're considering applying next year. These are just student life images. So I'm going to flip through these so we get to the admission stuff really quickly. Admission wise, we are on the Common App, just as most of us here are on the Common App. Most of us have mentioned. We do have early deadlines. November 1st, we do have an early decision program and early action being non-binding. And so that's what most students end up doing with us. Early decision is a very small group of students who are committing to Miami when they're applying. But early action is fantastic. And as long as you're getting that in by November 1st, you're going to hear back from us by Christmas with your admission decision. The great thing about your Common App is it also serves as your application for scholarships. So you'll see here our merit scholarships are automatic when you apply for admission. We do use your weighted GPA. I know you guys are in a rigorous environment at Ignatius, so I know not everybody's leaving Ignatius with a 3.5 at the end of this year, but if you are, certainly take a look at this because you will automatically qualify for scholarship money. And when you hear back from us on admission, your scholarship information and what you've earned in scholarship money is built into your acceptance letter. So it's always real nice to be able to say, hey, I've been admitted, I've got this amount of money from Miami, and I kind of know that this is a possibility. So very exciting stuff. And we certainly, like I said, look forward to senior applications every year. We always have such a great group of Ignatius students applying to Miami. Final thing is just, we'd love to have you come down and visit if you get a chance. We are about 5 hours away from you in Chicago, and the town of Oxford is, pretty direct route through Indiana. So hopefully not too painful of a drive. We offer tours Monday through Saturday. So we've got a lot of options for you to come and see the campus, and, anytime we'd love to have you down to take a look around. So thanks so much. And I'll be on the chat tonight if you have any additional questions.
Thank you. And just a reminder to everyone, definitely take advantage of that Q&A button. Feel free to submit any questions, whether they're for one presenter or for all the presenters, and they will start answering those. Next up, we have Spring Hill College.
So I'm gonna be honest, guys, this is my first time doing this, so I hope that I don't have any technical difficulties with it. I'm gonna try my best. Okay, let me get my screen share going. Okay, I believe. Okay, so I'm Madison Dempsey. I am the admissions counselor that covers the Chicago region. I am not based in Chicago. I'm based in Mobile, Alabama, born and raised here. So if you guys have questions about what it's like to live and grow up in the area, I'm pretty good at answering those questions for you guys. I actually just got back from Chicago yesterday. I just couldn't make it into St. Ignatius, but I enjoyed getting to experience the city and seeing where you guys are from, and it was a really great experience. So we did start this new campaign recently, and it's this Real World Ready campaign. And for part of this campaign, we lowered our tuition rates. We completely cut it in half. And so we realized $60,000 a year really isn't affordable to the average person. And so right now, for the current year, it's $21,000. And it's about to slightly bump up to $21,733. They are not going to go back up to $60,000, but it does slightly increase each year. So we are Jesuit educated, like others mentioned. We are located in the South, so we have that nice warm weather, and we rarely ever get any snow. And so because of that, we are very close to the beaches. Our closest one is about 40 minutes away, which is super nice. But if you want those crystal blue waters that the Gulf Coast is known for, you're going to need to go about an hour and a half away from the college, which most students will actually do that after classes, so it's not uncommon. We are very close to New Orleans and Atlanta. So we do have international airports that are pretty close by. If you were to make the drive from Chicago, it's about 13.5 hours. But if you take a plane, it's about 5, just depending on layovers and stuff like that. So the temperatures that you guys had really last week, with it being in like the 70s and the 60s, that's kind of our winter temperatures. We don't get snow like I mentioned. We had like some slight ice like 4 years ago, and the city closed down for about 5 days because we don't have salt for the roads because it never snows. So our downtown is quite small, but after being in Chicago, it is kind of nice because you don't have to worry about parking. You don't have to worry about going from street to street to street or getting an Uber from here to there or a taxi or whatever you're interested in. You can just walk because everything's so close. We are the birthplace of Mardi Gras. New Orleans likes to try to claim that, but we are very proud of our heritage for that. And because we are so proud, our students always get a Mardi Gras break. We also host the Reese's Senior Bowl every year. And so the top prospects from college football their senior year come down to play. We do concerts, there are parades. It's a pretty big deal. And we also host Hangout Fest. And so this is where you have your top artists come down. And so these are people like Post Malone, Dua Lipa, all those big name guys. They come down for about a weekend, and tickets start at about $200 and go upwards to $3,000. And with this, our students actually get to volunteer at these events and get that VIP $3,000 experience for free. And we do like to reiterate that we are close to the beaches, so you get that nice blue water. I saw that Lake Michigan was pretty blue, but our waters are a little bit clearer than that. So we are a smaller school. We have about 1,300 students enrolled. And with that, we don't like to necessarily say that we're small, but we're more personalized. But even though we are small, we are very diverse. We have 31 states currently represented on campus and 30 countries also on campus. And so even though we're small, you get a lot of diversity on campus and you get a lot of experience meeting other people from other cultures as well. And so 70% of our students live here on campus. They do enjoy that experience. We have 2 freshman dorm halls. So it's pretty neat that they all choose to live on campus, especially like our local students, they prefer to live on campus as well. 91% of our students, or not students, faculty and staff hold terminal degrees, so the highest possible degree they can achieve in their field. And because we are that personalized school experience, we do have a 13-to-1 student faculty ratio. So the faculty get to know you. You're not a number, you're a name. And so if you needed a recommendation letter from a professor, they can easily give it to you because they know who you are. We now have 52 majors and areas of concentration. Our business department is growing exponentially. We just added a computer science program as well. And so even though we are part of that personalized school experience, we do offer a lot of opportunities for our students. So just looking at these here, there are a lot of name or household names that you recognize, like Disney or GM or Allstate and many more. So there are a lot of opportunities for you if you do choose to attend with us. So one of the cool things is that we are nationally ranked by Forbes for return on investment, and this was out of 535 colleges and universities in the entire country. And so with this, we are ranked at number 9. So I think that we're doing okay, with Harvard being at number 7. And so 99.5% of our students receive placement within 6 months. So we're pretty okay with that as well. There are lots of ways that you can get involved here on campus. If there's not something that you're interested in, you can create something as well. There's always that option. 30% of our students are involved with Greek life, and actually most of them are from Chicago, and it's sort of a great way for all the Chicago students to get to know each other and get involved and stay connected. We do service opportunities because we are Jesuit educated, so there's something for everyone to take part in. We also offer a campus in Italy. All of your scholarships and financial aid transfers to Italy, so the only extra cost would be paying to get there. We are a D2 school, so we are pretty good at sports. I don't know a whole lot, but I just know we're good. But we do have a lot of options for you as well. We are also located on an 18-hole golf course, and we also have a disc golf course as well. We have 2 ways to apply. We do test optional, and we are on the Common App, so it makes it a little bit easier for you guys. We just like to mention again, we did cut that tuition down. And 100% of our students receive some form of scholarship or financial aid. So I encourage you guys to apply today. We are rolling admissions, so even if you are a senior, you can still apply. All right, let me pull this back up so I can transfer it back to you guys. All right. I'm actually not sure how to do it, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah, so I think you have to end your screen share.
Oh, yep.
And then we can,
Thank you.
Introduce our last but not least, St. Joseph's University.
Hi, everybody. I'm Logan. I'm an admissions counselor at St. Joseph's University, and I'm going to pull this up. There we go. That is not right. Are you guys seeing that?
Looks good to me.
Okay. I've lost my Zoom, but that's okay. So welcome to St. Joseph's University. Let me see. There we go. So locationally, St. Joseph's University is in half of campus is actually in Lower Merion, fun fact, where Kobe Bryant grew up. And the other half is in Philadelphia. So it kind of splits that line between city and suburbs. But really, it all kind of feels like the suburbs to me. We have a 125-acre campus that is absolutely breathtaking. But also, we have a train stop about a 10-minute walk from campus, allowing students to hop on the train and get into the city. The train only takes about 10-15 minutes itself, so you can get downtown really quickly. And I'm sorry if you hear those sirens. I do live in a part of town where there's a lot of sirens. But Philadelphia is a stunning city that has a lot of Fortune 500 companies. It has easy access to New York City and DC. So on a train, you can get to New York City in about an hour and a half and get to DC in about 2 hours, all on Amtrak. So really, really great location, and a lot of green space in Lower Merion, very clean, very safe area. So on Hawk Hill, we offer class sizes of, on average, 23 students with an 11:1 student faculty ratio. All of our faculty members who are teaching classes do have their terminal degrees. So you'll be taught by all PhDs, and they are experts in their fields, and they absolutely love what they do. We have a high freshman retention rate, and your class size will be about 1,000 students. So we kind of talk about that in terms of, it's large enough that you'll meet new people every day, but small enough where you'll start to recognize faces and have a community within, within that. We are ranked number 8 in regional universities in the North, and in the top 3% in terms of earnings after 10 years of graduation. We have a lot of different academic programs, over 100. To list some of the more niche ones, we have autism behavioral studies, machine learning, and actuarial science is a neat one that I've recently learned about. I didn't know what it was until like a couple weeks ago. So a lot of really neat majors. Some of our top ones are in the Hobbs School of Business. So our 3 schools within St. Joseph's University are the Hobbs School of Business, the College of Arts and Sciences, and the College of Health Studies, Education and Health Studies, sorry. And so we have so much to offer in terms of education. As a liberal arts institution, all of our students, as a Jesuit liberal arts institution, all of our students are taking a variety of different classes to kind of get familiar and to be well-rounded students. And that's part of the reason that 65% of our graduates do have double major or major minor combo. In fact, one of our student workers who works in the admissions office has 3 minors right now. And that's crazy, but you can absolutely do that at St. Joe's. So if you want to have a bunch of minors, it's something that we really do make it easy for students to do. And that's something we really love. Additionally, we have 20 4+1 programs. So that means you're going to be getting your master's in 1 extra year. So you actually apply for those in your junior year, and you start taking master's classes in your senior year. So we have one of those for autism behavioral studies, and we have an MBA program, psychology, a bunch of different 4+1 programs, where you're going to be getting an extra degree in just 1 year. So St. Joseph's University is proud to be merging with the University of Sciences under the St. Joseph's name. So starting June 1st, there will actually no longer be a University of Sciences. There will be St. Joseph's and St. Joseph's University City campus. So University of Sciences is a 36-acre campus just south of University of Pennsylvania. So it's further east. So St. Joseph's is northwest Philly. U Sciences is more closer to Center City. So starting June 1st, that will be something that we'll be offering. U Sciences is home to the very first school of pharmacy in North America, the Philadelphia School of Pharmacy. It is a well-renowned, world-renowned pharmacy program. And in addition to that, we'll be adopting physical therapy, occupational therapy, and physician assistants. So some amazing, well-established medical programs will now be offered at St. Joseph's because of this merger. And it is we kind of talk about the merger as, it's like a marriage, except U Sciences is taking our last name. It's very equitable, absolutely, no hardship there for the U Sciences. And we are just so proud to be joining them soon. So moving on. So the big reason why you're going to college is to get a job. And so that's something that we do well at St. Joe's, with 97% of our students being placed in a job or a grad program within 6 months of graduation. Part of the reason for that is our Career Development Center. They're absolutely amazing there. And at St. Joe's, it is a lifetime resource. So 20, 30 years down the line, you're thinking, I just really don't like my job anymore. I want to change careers. You're more than welcome to do that. Just call, email, show up to the Career Center, and St. Joe's will always help you find a new job. They'll help you update your resume, CV, and look for jobs down the line as well. We do have pre-professional advisors who their entire job is just to get you into grad school. So if you want to go to med school, if you want to go to law school, those are two things that we do really well. We have incredibly high placement rate at med schools and law schools. And part of the reason for that is these amazing professionals who work really, really hard to help you study for the LSAT, the MCAT, take classes, help you with your application materials, making sure you have all that ready. Additionally, co-op and internships. So co-op is a program that we offer through our Hop School of Business, where students are taking 2 semesters off to work full-time. So the first semester of your sophomore year, as a business student, you are allowed to work full-time, and we have coordinators who will help you find a full-time internship first semester of your sophomore year, and then the second semester of your junior year. So you're working full-time, you're making between $20,000 and $30,000 between that, and over half of our students actually have job offers before they even start their senior year. So with co-op, you're allowed to go basically anywhere. So we actually, one of my coworkers went to Chicago for co-op, and she worked at a small bakery chain in Chicago. I forget the name, I'm sorry guys. But we place people all over the country for co-op and our internships. We offer internships in all of our programs and are proud to do so. Summer Scholars is a program where you can do independent research over the summer. And we just have so many opportunities for students to explore in terms of research. It is a very vibrant campus. We are a Division I athletic school with a great basketball team and one of the best women's field hockey teams in the country. Our women's field hockey consistently makes it to nationals. This last year, they made it, I think, to the second round of nationals. And I believe they have over 7 championship titles there. We have study abroad on all 6 continents that are inhabited, no Antarctic tours yet, and so many different clubs and organizations, including club sports. For all of our 20 Division I sports, we also offer club sports to sort of, if you don't want to compete at the Division I level, but you still want to play, soccer, anything like that. So how are you going to apply? You can, like everyone else here, you can apply to St. Joe's through the Common App, and we have been test optional since 2014. This is not a COVID policy for us. We believe that your test scores are not necessarily indicative of how you will perform as a student. So if you don't want to submit your test scores, don't. It doesn't actually matter to us at all. It doesn't affect your admission. And you'll need a letter of rec, of course, from a teacher or counselor, and a resume if you want. That's also completely optional. Thank you so much. This has been so great to present with you. And if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. Happy to answer them.
Thank you. So if all of our presenters want to put their cameras back on, I think we have time for 1 or 2 of our panel questions. Again, all of our attendees, if you have any Q&A questions, feel free to submit those as well. But just going in the order of our presentations, our first question is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process?
I think my best piece of advice, I'm going to take these off so I don't glare. My best piece of advice kind of comes from the whole Jesuit piece, and that's to do a little bit of discernment. I know that all of us are going to send you just amazing things, talking about all the cool things on our campus and our neighborhoods and our community and our buildings with our clocks and our towers and our domes. But none of that matters if you don't know, 1, who you are, and 2, what you're looking for. And so take some time to sit back and think about who you are as a student, who you are as a person. Moms and dads, do that with your, apart from your students, and then get together with your students to say, child, I've raised you now for 17 years and I'm excited for this process and I'm nervous for this process because I'm a mom or a dad. But here's what I'm hoping that you get out of college too. And have those kinds of conversations before you ever set foot on a campus, so that you don't have a weird conversation in front of the admission office when somebody says, I want to be a piano performance major, and somebody else says, I thought you were going to be an electrical engineer. Nobody wants to be part of that conversation, whether you're in it or listening to it. So little discernment before you go out and visit.
Very good.
I can take on. Oh, Erin, go.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I'll be quick. Hard to
Go ahead.
follow, but once you have that discernment, you should definitely visit. And you should check out big schools, small schools, medium schools, schools you've never heard of. If you're going on vacation and there's schools nearby, just cruise through campus. You may find some place that you've never heard of that turns out to be the exact place for you. So keep an open mind and do some exploring. Now it's your turn, Heather.
You stole my words. That was just my advice too, is just go set foot on campus. We do a lot of panels of students at Miami, and that's always helpful to me because I'm about 20 years out of Miami. So I appreciate students coming in and giving their feedback. And one of our current students, I heard her on a panel say, I walked around the campus and I felt like I could look around and see myself walking with my backpack across this quad. And I was like, yes, it's what it is. It's not, do they have my major? Do they have this? Do they have that club? Whatever. It's, can you see yourself there? Because chances are a lot of schools probably have your major. Chances are a lot of schools might have, like, if you play tennis, we have tennis, and things, but it's just, can you see yourself there, and for some places you're going to go and it might be, it might check all the boxes on paper, but when you get there, you just might not feel it. And then at other schools, you might really feel it, and I think just trust your gut as you're going through that process.
Mine is sort of connected to theirs about visiting campus. And to kind of spin off of that is see if you can get in a classroom, see if you can experience what it's like to learn from that professor in that field that you're interested in, because you might really like Spring Hill, for example. You might think it's really pretty with our pretty domes and our pretty clock towers and all these things. But if you get in the class and you listen from the professor and try to learn from him and you have no idea what he's saying and you're not understanding and you're not able to feel like you belong in that classroom, then one, maybe that's not the right major for you. And two, maybe it's not the right school for you. So I encourage you to not only go visit, but see how fully you can be immersed in the process of being a student on campus.
To just sort of round that out, you guys took all the big ones, but on your college app, one thing that I've really appreciated in my 1 year of being an admissions counselor has been reading the context behind some people's applications. So if you really struggled sophomore year because there were some factors in your life, God forbid a family member died or something bad happened, please do put that context in your application, because I want to see that, because I don't have any reference point for why you got that bad grade unless you put it in your application. And so if you put it in, then I know, and then I can kind of contextualize that and make sure that I see that for what it is.
Great. Well, thanks so much for all of that fantastic advice. And thanks for being with us tonight. Those were all really interesting presentations. I'm just going to close us out really quick with a couple of more housekeeping things. So again, thank you to all of our attendees for joining us tonight. When you close this window, there will be a little 5-question survey for you. So if you have a moment to take that survey, we really appreciate your feedback. You'll be able to find this session's recording, but also recordings from other sessions if you weren't able to attend all of them online. And the website again is strivescan.com/Ignatius. And thanks again for being with us, and have a wonderful rest of your night.